To the March 23rd, 2026 Town Board meeting. Would you please join me in the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. First item on the agenda is several public hearings. And we'll start with local law number 2, 2026, the Chapter 35 alarm systems. I'll open this public hearing at 6:31. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the mic, give us your name and address, and give us your thoughts. Anyone? Seeing no one, I will close this public hearing at 6:31. Next is a public hearing for local law 3, 2026, Chapter 87, ponds. I'll open this public hearing at 6:31. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the mic, give us your name and address, and give us your thoughts. Anyone? Seeing no one, I'll close this public hearing at 6:31. Next is local law 4, 2026, Chapter 93, sewers. I'll open this public hearing at 6:32. If anyone would like to address the board, step up to the mic and give us your name and address. Seeing no one, I'll close this public hearing at 6:32. Next is local law 5, 2026, Chapter 95, site plan review. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the mic and give us your name and address, and give us your thoughts. Seeing no one, I'll close this public hearing at 6:32. Next is local law 6, 2026, Chapter 95A, solar energy systems. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the mic and give us your name and address, and give us your thoughts. Hey.
Hi, I'm Evan Roden, 2037 Grover Road in West Falls. So I wanted to speak against this law because it effectively bans utility scale solar. It places a maximum of 15 acres, which is about a megawatt, so not utility scale. It also has a requirement that only you can build solar on industrial land unless you get a variance, which is a very small amount of the land in the town of Aurora. And it requires a 750-foot setback from parks, anything public, schools, any of that, which is also very restrictive and not present in any other town in the area. And it requires a 10% site cap, so you can't exceed that in solar coverage, which is also significantly lower. The lowest I could find anywhere else in the entire town nearby is Lancaster, which has a 50% cap. All other towns have no cap. I think that this is a ban on utility scale solar. Maybe members of the town board want that, but it wouldn't work because the Office of Renewable Energy Siting, created by New York State in 2024, explicitly bans towns from placing onerous regulations like this on utility scale solar and makes them null and void if someone were to try. So I see that you might want to restrict, for example, you don't want solar panels too close to a school. Maybe you don't want them abutting up against the property line. That would become null and void if you place a law in place that's too restrictive, because the Office of Renewable Energy Siting can override the entire town's code as created by the New York State Legislature if they want to for any utility scale solar that helps them meet their CLCPA goals for 2033. So, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Seeing no one else, we'll close this public hearing at 6:36. Next is local law number 7, 2026, Chapter 99, subdivision land and open development areas. I'll open this public hearing at 6:37. If anyone would like to speak to the board, step up to the mic, give us your name and address, give us your thoughts. Anyone? Seeing no one? Oh, Great.
Sorry, I was reading through this. I'm Sue Rassateris. I live on Snyder Road. And we do have a large piece of property behind us that is a concern for all the neighbors. And I understand that the neighbors would be notified, I forget how many days before there would be a final plat approval of anything that would, any plans that would be presented. And I think it's really important to involve the affected property owners sooner than right before you want to approve the final plans, if that's how I'm reading this correctly. Because everybody, as you know, is very concerned about what's going to happen with that large amount of property on the north side of Snyder. So I'm just suggesting that we get involved from the get-go and not wait till, you know, the plans have been discussed with the board and we find out right before the final plans are being handed off.
Okay.
Thank
Rich,
you.
would you like to respond to that real quickly?
So in regards to the change to the code itself under Article 99 didn't specifically really change. We only changed two things to the actual code. One was accessory structures in the front yard, and then we made some additional clarifications on the submittal application process. In regards to your inquiry in regards to notification, any ODA application goes through the planning board and then goes to the town board. So there's multiple opportunities for public hearing and public comment. Obviously, the planning board is not specifically notices sent to the people around the area, but you just have to keep aware of the circumstances around your neighborhood. The town board notifications will go out when that public hearing is scheduled, though.
Thank you. Anyone else? I will close that public hearing at 6:37. And next is Local Law 8, 2026, Chapter 116, the zoning code. I'll open that public hearing at 6:37. If anyone would like to address the board, please step up to the mic, give us your name and address and your thoughts. Anyone? Seeing no one, I'll close that public hearing at 6:38. And lastly, for public hearings, I'll open the public hearing for the East Aurora Baseball Shed Site Plan at 6:38. If anyone would like to address the board on that, please step up to the mic, give us your name and address and thoughts. Seeing no one, I will close that public hearing at 6:38. We will not be voting on any of these tonight, so if you want to stick around, you're certainly more than welcome to, but if not, you can leave if you'd like. Next is the consent agenda. Can I have a motion to approve the town board meeting minutes from March 9th, 2026, and the abstract of claims from March 23rd, 2026?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second,
Second by Ray.
please.
Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is audience one, an opportunity to address the board on any item on this agenda. If anyone would like to speak to the board about it, please step up to the mic, give us your name and address, and let us know your thoughts. Seeing no one, we'll move on. Unfinished business. First is the seeker review and then the declaration. And I will read this. Number one, proposed action may involve construction on or physical alteration of the land surface of the proposed site. The answer is no. Number two, the proposed action may result in modification or destruction of or inhibit access to any unique or unusual landforms on the site, such as cliffs, dunes, minerals, and fossils or caves. The answer is no. Number three, the proposed action may affect one or more wetlands or other surface water bodies, as in streams, rivers, ponds, or lakes. The answer is no. Number four, the proposed action may result in an additional use of groundwater or may have the potential to introduce contaminants to groundwater or the aquifer? The answer is no. Number 5, the proposed action may result in development of land subject to flooding. The answer is no. Number 6, the proposed action may include a state-regulated air emissions source. The answer is no. Number 7, the proposed action may result in a loss of flora or fauna. The answer is no. Number 8, the proposed action may impact agricultural resources. The answer is no. Number 9, the land use of the proposed actions are obviously different from or in sharp contrast to current land use patterns between the proposed project and a scenic or aesthetic resource. The answer is no. Number 10, the proposed action may occur in or adjacent to historic or archaeological resource. The answer is no. Number 11, the proposed action may result in the loss of recreational opportunities or a reduction in an open space resource as designated in any adopted municipal open space plan. The answer is no. Number 12, the proposed action may be located within or adjacent to a critical environmental area. The answer is no. Number 13, the proposed action may result in a change to existing transportation systems. The answer is no. Number 14, the proposed action may cause an increase in the use of any form of energy. The answer is no. Number 15, the proposed action may result in an increase in noise, odors, or outdoor lighting. The answer is no. Number 16, the proposed action may have an impact on human health from exposure to new or existing sources of contaminants. The answer is no. Number 17, the proposed action is not consistent with the adopted land use plans. The answer is no. And number 18, the proposed project is inconsistent with the existing community character. The answer is no. Next is the declaration for the seeker. Whereas the town of Aurora, hereafter Town Board, is considered the adoption of a Town of Aurora 2025 comprehensive plan, hereafter the plan, pursuant to New York State Town Law, Chapter 272-A, and whereas the adoption of a comprehensive plan by a town board is classified as a Type 1 action pursuant to Section 617.4B1 of 6 New NYCRR, Chapter 617.4, as it involves the adoption of the municipality's land use plan, and whereas as a Type 1 action, the proposed adoption of the plan is presumed to be more likely to require the preparation of an environmental impact statement than an unlisted action and requires coordination review among involved agencies. And whereas the town board is the only agency with the authority to adopt a comprehensive plan for the town of Aurora pursuant to Town Law Chapter 272A, and is therefore the only involved agency for this action. And whereas the town board, as the only involved agency, here declares itself lead agency for the purposes of conducting the environmental review of the proposed action in accordance with 6 NYCRR Part 617. And whereas in compliance with the requirements of the seeker and 6 NYCRR Part 617, the town board caused to be prepared a full assessment form, Parts 1, 2, and 3, which is attached hereto and incorporated herein by reference. And whereas the town board has reviewed the full EAF, the plan, and all supporting documents, and has considered the relevant areas' environmental concerns in making its determinations of significance. And whereas the town board has considered the criteria for determining the significance set forth in 6 NYCRR Chapter 617.7C. And whereas the town board has taken a hard look at the potential environmental impacts of the proposed action and has provided a reasoned elaborative of the basins for its determination as set forth herein and in Part 3 of the full EAF. And whereas the town board finds the proposed action is a policy-level planning document that does not by itself authorize or approve any specific development, construction, or physical activity that each subsequent implementation action will be subject to its own site-specific seeker review, and that the plan, on balance, is designed to promote environmental protection, resources conservation, climate resilience, and sustainable growth patterns. Now therefore be it resolved that the Town of Aurora Town Board, Erie County, New York, as followed, lead agency designation, the Town Board of the Town of Aurora hereby declares itself lead agency for the purpose of environmental review and the adoption of the Town of Aurora 2025 Comprehensive Plan pursuant to the seeker and 6 NYCRR Part 617 and Section 2 Type 1 classification. Town Board hereby confirms the proposed action adoption to the Town of Aurora 2025 Comprehensive Plan pursuant to Town Law, Chapter 272A, is classified as a Type 1 action under 6 NYCRR, Chapter 617.4B1, and the negative declaration based upon its thorough review of the full environmental assessment form, Parts 1, 2, and 3, the plan and/or supporting documents, the criteria for determining significance set forth in 6 NYCRR, Chapter 617.7C, and all other information and analysis relevant to the proposed action. The Town Board hereby determines that the proposed action will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts and hereby issues a negative declaration. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Second.
Can I have that read again? Yeah. I didn't catch that middle part.
Ray, this was the short version.
It was a short version. It really was. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess?
Yep.
Any comments or discussion? No. If you want me to go through the parts that I missed, I can.
Would you like some water?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. This one's not nearly as bad. Can I have a motion to follow the following resolution? Whereas the Town Board of Aurora, hereinafter Town Board, is authorized pursuant to New York State Law 272A to prepare, adopt, amend a comprehensive plan for the Town of Aurora, Erie County, New York. And whereas this comprehensive plan effort was prepared and funded by the Erie County Municipal Planning Grant Program with professional planning assistance from Labella Associates. And whereas the Town Board established a comprehensive plan steering committee composed of Raymond Razin, Charles Snyder, Dan Castle, Susan Russell, Dale Morris, Bob Morgan, Angela Griffiths, and Nancy Burkhart. And whereas the plan establishes 5 overarching goals for the Town of Aurora. Goal 1, supporting housing for all life stages and incomes. Goal 2, strengthening environmental stewardship and resilience. Goal 3, reserve rural character and open space. Goal 4, invest in smart, sustainable infrastructure. And Goal 5, enhance mobility and connectivity. Whereas the Town Board completed a state environmental quality review of the proposed plan as more fully set forth in a resolution adopted on March 23rd, 2026, and issued a negative declaration finding that adoption of the plan will not result in any significant adverse environments. And whereas the Town Board held a duly noticed public hearing on March 9th at the Aurora Municipal Building, 575 Oakwood Avenue, East Aurora, New York, in which all interested parties were given the opportunity to be heard, and the Town Board has considered all comments received in connection with such hearing. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Aurora, Erie County, New York, will adopt the comprehensive plan, including all texts, maps, figures, tables, appendices, and public survey summary and future land use map is hereby adopted as the comprehensive plan of the Town of Aurora pursuant to Town Law, Chapter 272A, and as detailed herein, effective immediately. Can I have that motion?
I'd like to make a motion that we approve and adopt the 2025 comprehensive plan.
Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion?
This is a big deal. I know that was a lot of words and a lot of reading, but getting a comprehensive plan birthed is a big deal. And kudos to those who put their noses to the grindstone and got it done. Ow.
You all right there, Joe?
Okay, I pitched my thumb at the worst possible time.
That being said, what I'd like to do is just say a couple of words.
Well, why don't we approve it?
Okay,
And
we'll
then-
approve it. All right.
And then,
Just to
because
make sure
who
we-
knows, it might go down.
You never know.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Ray, the floor
Thank
is yours.
God, then I wouldn't be able to read this. What I'd like to do is just make some acknowledgements. A lot of people worked on this, and I think they deserve some recognition. We extend our supreme appreciation to longtime board members Joe McCann and the vacant seat over there, which should have included Luke Wachensky, for their vision, leadership, and commitment to the future of our town. Their efforts in securing Erie County grant funding and their continued support throughout the year were instrumental in advancing this comprehensive plan. So thanks to you guys for getting the ball rolling. We'd also like to thank our consultants, LaBelle and Associates, particularly Derek Kane, who's right there, and our project manager, and Josh Green, the project planner. Their expertise, guidance, professionalism, and also patience were instrumental in allowing us to develop a comprehensive plan that is practical, actionable, and aligned with the priorities expressed by our residents. We are grateful to the members of the steering committee for their time, insight, and dedication. Nancy Burkhardt, Zoning Board of Appeals, Dan Castle from the Erie County Department of Environment and Planning, Angela Griffiths, Town of Aurora Planning Board, Bob Morgan, JRS Morgan Realty, Dale Morris, Town of Aurora Open Space Committee, Sue Russell, Town of Aurora Climate Smart Committee, and last but not least, Chuck Snyder, our town supervisor. So thank you, everyone, for your time and dedication to this project. We'd also like to acknowledge Liz Cassidy, Code Enforcement Officer, who, while not a formal member of the steering committee, played a critical role in ensuring the plan remained consistent with land use regulations and best practices. So she was our guardrails as we adopted this plan. I'd also like to thank Doug Crow and the Planning Board. Our thanks to them for reviewing the comprehensive plan, recommending passage, and giving us a number of suggestions for prioritization of action items, many which are very low-hanging fruit and prime for early adoption and implementation. And finally, I'd like to thank the residents of the town of Aurora for their exceptional participation. More than 1,000 residents responded to online and paper surveys, while many other contributing, and it's in the resolution there, through focus groups, stakeholder interviews, public workshops, and those that showed up to the March 9th public hearing. This engagement reflects a community that is informed, invested, and committed to Aurora that proactively plans its future. So I'd like to thank everybody, and this is a great day.
Hey,
Thank you.
and thank you, Ray.
Thank
All right,
Don't forget to thank
Yeah.
yourself while you're at it.
Thank you.
Entire team,
Thank you.
entire team. No doubt about it.
Okay.
All right.
On to Olean Road, which I see. This one's a little simpler. But first is the seeker impact assessment form for that property. Now, when I say no, I will just say no, but it also means no or a small impact may occur. This again is for the property at 600 Olean Road. Will the proposed action create a material conflict with an adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? No. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or intensity of the use of the land? No. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on the environmental characteristics that cause the establishment of a critical environment area? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change in the existing level of traffic or existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? No. Will the proposed action cause an increase of the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? No. Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies or public-private wastewater treatment utilities? No and no. Will the proposed action impair the character or the quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? No. Will the proposed action result in an adverse change to natural resources, as in wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora, or fauna? The answer is no. Will the proposed action result in an increase in potential for erosion, flooding, and drainage problems? The answer is no. Will the proposed action create a hazard of environmental resources or human health? The answer is no. With that, can I have a motion to adopt the following resolution for the property at 600 Olean Road? Now therefore be it resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Aurora declares itself lead agency with regard to the seeker for the special use permit and site plan application to build an indoor golf facility and parking lot at 600 Olean Road, and further resolved that after considering the action stated herein, reviewing the criteria contained in section 617.11 of the rules and regulations of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, the code enforcement officer determines that the action is an unlisted action, and further resolved that the Town Board of the Town of Aurora has determined that these unlisted actions will result in no significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared, and further resolved that a negative declaration is issued with regard to the special use permit and site plan application to build the indoor golf facility and parking lot at 600 Olean Road. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Motion by Jess, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe, comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And the resolution approving the site plan. Whereas Harrison Kelly / Olean CC LCC has submitted a site plan review application to build an indoor golf facility and parking lot at 600 Olean Road, East Aurora, New York, and whereas at their December 3rd, 2025 meeting, the Aurora Town Planning Board recommended approval of the site plan subject to feedback from the engineer that the stormwater pollution prevention plan is accepted, SWIPS. Whereas GHD, the town engineering firm, recommended the town sign the SWIPS accepted form, whereas the code enforcement officer determined this to be an unlisted action under seeker, and that the town board found that the project will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, and whereas the site plan application and documents were sent to Erie County Department of Environmental and Planning for review and issued a no recommendation determining it to be of local concern, and whereas the site plan application and documents were sent to the New York State Department of Environmental Conservation for review and responded with requirements that need to be met, and whereas the site plan application and documents were sent to the New York State Department of Transportation and they are working with the applicant regarding the New York State DOT right-of-way, now therefore be it resolved that the site plan for 600 Quaker Road, East Aurora, New York, consisting of a parking lot configuration and expansion is approved by the Aurora Town Board. Can I have that, Marilyn?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray, comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried.
Just wonder how long your voice is going to have.
Now, a resolution for the special use permit for 600 Quaker Road. Whereas Harrison Kelly of Olean LLC has applied for a special use permit to build an indoor golf facility and parking lot at 600 Olean Road, East Aurora, New York, And whereas the town board of the town of Aurora referred to the special use permit application to the town of Aurora Planning Board for their review and recommendation, and whereas the planning board voted unanimously to recommend that the town board approve the special use permit, and whereas as an unlisted action under seeker, the town board found that the project will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Town Code, Chapter 95-2B2, that the town of Aurora, the town board of the town of Aurora does hereby grant a special use permit to Harrison Kelly, Olean, LECC, to build an indoor golf facility and parking lot at 600 Olean Road. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Motion by Jess, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray, comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. One more just like that.
Have we been reading the entire Seekers forever, or is that a new thing?
I'm doing the short version.
I do not remember this.
No, I don't
Well,
either.
these are type 1 and type, these are type 1 and type 2 actions. Most of them are unlisted.
There you go. That's-
And you just,
Yeah.
there's nothing to it, but you have to read it.
All right.
And it's part of the fun.
It is part of it, I agree.
Next is the impact assessment for the property at 359 Quaker. Again, when I say no, it means no or small impact, no small impact, okay? Will the proposed action create a material conflict with the adopted land use plan or zoning regulation? The answer is no. Will the proposed action result in a change in the use or the intensity of the land? The answer is no. Will the proposed action impair the character or quality of the existing community? No. Will the proposed action have an impact on environmental characteristics that caused the establishment of critical environmental area? The answer is no. Will the proposed action result in adverse change in existing level of traffic, affect existing infrastructure for mass transit, biking, or walkway? The answer is no. Will the proposed action cause an increase in the use of energy and it fails to incorporate reasonable available energy conservation or renewable energy opportunities? The answer is no. Will the proposed action impact existing public-private water supplies, or B, public-private wastewater treatment for utilities? The answer is no and no. Will the proposed action impair the characteristic of the quality of important historic, archaeological, architectural, or aesthetic resources? The answer is no. Will the proposed action result in the adverse change to natural resources such as wetlands, water bodies, groundwater, air quality, flora or fauna? The answer is no. Will the proposed action result in the increase in the potential for erosion, flooding, drainage problems? The answer is no. Will the proposed action create a hazard to the environmental resources to human health? The answer is no. Next is the resolution for the seeker. Can I have a motion to adopt the following resolution? Resolved that the town board of the town of Aurora declares itself lead agency with regard to the seeker for the special use permit and site plan application to demolish an existing building and rebuild a new dental office with parking area at 359 Quaker Road. And further resolved that after considering the action stated herein, reviewing the criteria contained in section 617.11 of the rules and regulations of the State Environmental Quality Review Act, the code enforcement officer determines that the action is an unlisted action, and further resolved that the town board of the town of Aurora has determined that this unlisted action will result in no significant adverse impacts on the environment, and therefore an environmental impact statement need not be prepared, and further resolved that a negative declaration is issued with regard to the special use permit and the site plan applications to demolish the existing building and rebuild a new dental office with parking area at 359 Quaker Road, East Aurora. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess, comments or discussion?
No.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? And one more. This is the resolution approving the site plan for 359 Quaker. Whereas Carrie Williams from PwC Enterprises LLC has submitted a site plan review application to demolish the existing building and rebuild a new office with a parking area for 359 Quaker East Aurora, and whereas the February 6th, 2026 meeting, the Aurora Town Planning Board recommended the approval of the site plan, and whereas the site plan application and documents were sent to the Erie County Department of Environmental and Planning for review and issued a no recommendation determining it to be a local concern, and whereas the site plan application and documents were sent to the New York State Department of Transportation and responded that the New York State DOT work permit will be required for work located on a state highway, and whereas the code enforcement officer determined that this to be an unlisted action under seeker, and that the town board found that the project will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts. Now therefore be it resolved that the site plan for 359 Quaker Road, East Aurora, New York, to demolish the existing building and rebuild a new dental office with a parking area is approved by the town board.
So moved.
Motion by Ray, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe, comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? And the special use permit. Whereas Carrie Williams, PCW Enterprises, can I have a motion to adopt the following resolution? Whereas Carrie Williams, PCW Enterprises LLC, has applied for a special use permit to demolish the existing building and rebuild a new dental office with a parking area at 359 Quaker Road. Whereas the applicant went before the Zoning Board of Appeals and received the appropriate variances needed for the project, and whereas the town board of the town of Aurora referred the special use permit application to the town of Aurora Planning Board for their review and recommendations, and whereas the planning board voted unanimously to recommend that the town board approve the special use permit, and whereas, as an unlisted action under seeker, the town board found that the project will not result in any significant adverse environmental impacts, now therefore be it resolved that pursuant to Town Code Chapter 95 2B2 in the town of Aurora, the town board of the town of Aurora does hereby grant the attached special use permit, including conditions, to Carrie Williams, PCW Enterprises, to demolish an existing building and rebuild a new dental office with parking area at 359 East Aurora, New York. Can I have that motion?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, can I have a motion to authorize the supervisor to sign the amendment increasing the salary cap with Martha Labrock as so stated?
So moved.
Motion by Jess, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, can I have a motion to approve the budget amendment to process an invoice from Labella's as follows: decrease line B599 fund balance by $14,343.76, and increase appropriations line B8097.400 comprehensive plan by $14,343.76.
So moved.
Motion by Joe, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray, comments or discussion? You're gonna get paid, Derek. Oh, he's,
Oh, no, he was here for his thank you, but once the bill came due,
I know, I ran away.
I was
Motion
surprised
carried.
you didn't wait for the check.
Yeah, no kidding. Did you do
Next.
all in favor?
All in favor?
all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, motion carried. Next is a request from Kathleen. Can I have a motion to approve establishing capital project H3, town court renovations, along with that to transfer $16,955 from committed fund balance from the general fund along with another $31,045 from assisted fund balance to the general fund.
So moved.
Motion by Jess. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next, can I have a motion to set a public hearing on April 13th at the Aurora Municipal Center, 575 Oakwood Avenue, where all parties will be heard regarding the town's stormwater management program plan?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion?
You thought today's public hearings were exciting.
That'll be it.
You just
That'll be
wait.
interesting. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. And on to new business. Under new business, I'd like to add 2 items. Can I have a motion to approve adding 6J, which is referring 1196 Big Tree Road to the planning board, along with 6K, which is a resignation from a certain councilman / deputy supervisor.
So moved.
Motion by Ray. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. So, 6A. Can I have a motion to approve accepting an $810 check from the Friends of Griffin Mills to be put towards their new sign to match the one that we did last year on the other end of town, and with our highway department installing that sign?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess. Comments or discussion?
That's why I say thank you to Al Davis and the other folks running that program. They're doing a great job. I think identifying the boundaries of Griffin Mills is great.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Any other comments?
No, it's perfect.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is a budget amendment from Kathleen. Motion to approve amending the budget to record the donation as follows. Increase revenue line A 2705, gifts and distribution by $810, and increase appropriation line A 7315.412 by $810.
So moved.
Motion by Jess. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is a budget transfer from Jeannie. Can I have a motion to approve the requested budget transfer from Jeannie Vigier as detailed herein?
So moved.
Motion by Ray. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And another request from Jeannie. Can I have a motion to approve the travel, meals, and registration costs for the town clerk to attend a conference in Albany in April at a cost of $1,779.56?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess. Comments or discussion? Have fun.
Go forth and
All in
learn.
favor?
Learn a lot.
Yeah. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next is a request from Chris. Can I have a motion to approve hiring Taylor Rapp and Jennifer Breyer at an hourly rate of $20.50? Taylor is a non-resident, and completion of the new hire orientation will be considered their first day.
So moved.
Motion by Jess. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is a request from Kathleen. Can I have a motion to approve the supervisor, Charles Snyder, to have a credit card in his name through the Chase P-Card program?
So moved.
Motion by Ray, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Next, another request from Kathleen. Can I have a motion to approve Highway Superintendent David Gunner to have a Lowe's commercial account credit card on behalf of the town of Aurora?
So moved.
Motion by Joe. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Jess. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried. Next is a referral to the planning board. Can I have a motion to approve the special use permit and site plan for the property at 612 Buffalo Road to the planning board for review and recommendation?
So moved.
Motion by Jess. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And next is can I have a motion to approve sending the special use permit application for the property at 298 Ellicott Road to the planning board for review and recommendation?
So moved.
Motion by Joe, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next is our salt barn. So I'll just give you a little preface here. So we have a request from Hybrid Building Solutions to erect the new salt barn. But although we're expecting at any time, we don't have a signed contract from the DEC. So can I have a motion to authorize the agreement with Hybrid Building Solutions contingent upon receiving the contract from the DEC and that there be no work performed or money spent until that contract is authorized?
So moved.
Motion by Ray, can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Joe. Comments or discussion?
I think that is very wise. If you read the letter announcing the grant, it says it still has to clear the Office of State Controller, so. we would
It's
be
highly
foolish to move
likely, and
forward.
we are expecting.
Nothing should happen, but,
There was that time back in '62.
yeah, it's funny how it works. If you do your due diligence, the bad things don't happen somehow.
Yes.
It's a weird phenomenon.
You say something about 62, is that what you said?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Next. Can I have a motion to send the site plan application for 1196 Quaker Road back to the planning board for further recommendation and review?
So moved.
Motion by Jess. Can I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ray. Comments or discussion?
Doug, you have any idea if you're going to get attendance to that thing or not yet? To your next meeting? Think you'll have the golden number of 7?
We don't know.
Okay. That's all I had.
Well,
Nice work.
Thank
we did discuss this pretty thoroughly in the work session, and we really would like
Yeah.
comments from the planning board. So. Any other comments? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. And next is a letter from Councilman and Deputy Supervisor Luke Waschinsky. And I know you've heard enough of me talking, but since this letter, we just received it today, I really would just like to read it real quick, and it's short. Dear Supervisor Snyder, Clerk Bejay, and members of the town board, in connection with my election as mayor of the village of East Aurora and the forthcoming commencement of my term on April 6, 2026, I hereby resign my position as deputy supervisor and council member for the town of Aurora effective April 5th, 2026. It's been a true pleasure to work alongside each one of you in service to our community. I'm proud of what we've accomplished together and grateful for the opportunity to have served residents of the town of Aurora in this capacity. I look forward to continuing to work collaboratively with the town board in my new role as mayor and in building the strong relationship between the town and the village for the benefit of our shared community. Thank you again for your partnership, dedication, and service. I'm Luke Wachensky. Luke did a great job. I truly enjoyed him as the deputy supervisor. We had great conversations. We kept politics out of it, the state and so on out of it there, and I really think that we got a lot done. I'm gonna miss him, and I wish him the best. Any other comments?
Yeah, I could say a million things. He's not here, unfortunately. He travels for work, and with the disruption in flights in LaGuardia, he had to leave a little bit early. Otherwise, he'd be here to hear our comments directly. But, Luke was my inspiration for getting into public service, so I am certainly going to miss serving alongside him. He leaves a big void that we're going to have to pick up the slack and fill. He is God bless the folks at the village. They don't know what they're getting into.
Yeah.
Because he never stops working. He's like a cyclone that goes by you, and then you're in the cyclone. And what happened? What's going on? I was minding my own business. But I certainly am going to miss having him on the board. But we're having him just down the hall, and I have no doubt we're going to be working with and dealing with him quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I say that deliberately. So that's what I have.
Thank you. Joe?
I absolutely agree. I think we've got loads of opportunity for collaboration now. And yes, we're all in that cyclone, and it's just getting bigger.
Who are we talking about again? But I agree. As a matter of fact, the reason why I'm here in large measure is because of the conversations that I had with him. So I owe him a lot and wish him the very best. And I think he's going to do really well for the village and also for the town by that collaboration. He's that type of guy. So good luck, Luke.
Yep.
Take care.
So, all in favor?
We didn't get a motion.
Oh, I didn't make the motion, okay. Can I have a motion to approve the resignation of Luke Wachensky?
I would like to make that motion with regret.
Can I have a second?
I would second that
Ray?
also with regret.
No further comments, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. All right, under communications and reports, I have the year-end report from Building and Zoning Department, along with the February 2026 reports from the Town Clerk, Recreation, Building, the Police Department, and the Supervisor's Report. Business from board members, and we'll start with Joe.
So I know everybody loved hearing about deer for the 4 months we were talking about it. Now that we know who's going to be running the village, I figure it's time to re-engage the DEC, so I reached out to our contact over there. I'd yet to hear back to get a report on how many permits were cashed in from our additional doe permit program, ask him their recommendations, stay the course, change direction. How do we make sure this project continues to move forward? So I haven't heard back from him yet, but I will be re-engaging on that subject to make sure that we can continue to take that topic seriously and do what needs to be done. That's all I have.
Thank you, Joe. Jess?
On the subject of not hearing back from folks, I did learn recently that for some reason my email address is blocked when it gets to the Erie County Sewer District, so it's not going through. They're exploring on their end with IT, but I'll let you all know if I hear that something is funky with our new .govs.
No, did you let Nick know?
No, I did not, because it just happened this morning.
Do you want me tomorrow or you want?
Sure, I'll catch up after. Thank you very much. I am looking at going to the New York Association of Towns 2-day Finance and Personnel School in May. I'll confirm that works with schedule, but hopefully that can happen, and we'll have more information to share with the board. And then the Chamber of Commerce had a sponsor who offered to pay for town officials, elected officials, to go to the event at no charge to the elected officials. It is under the donation cap, I believe, but that is on Wednesday night. It is the Business Excellence Awards Galactic Gala. So if anyone would like to go, I've sent you all an email.
Okay.
Let me know if you have any questions.
Sounds good.
Ray?
Yeah, last Thursday, I attended the Nest meeting, and we're going to have 4 paint collection events and 2 electronic collection events. The only one that's currently scheduled, and Joe, I can forward you the flyer to post on Facebook. I have it on my Facebook page. Is April 19th. It's going to be at Buff State, and you have to register ahead of time in order to take your paint. So if people are cleaning out, for their garage, their basement for the spring, this is the first event. The rest will be scheduled, and I'll let people know when that's going to occur. Okay? And then the second is the Open Space Committee. We meet this Thursday, and we have a draft of both the open space and the natural resource inventory. So we're at that stage. We'll review those at the meeting and see if there's any last minute changes to it. But hopefully by the next meeting, I'll have finalized versions of both of those.
That's this Thursday
This Thursday is the open space meeting, yeah.
in that room?
Yeah,
Oh, maybe I'll swing by.
okay, sounds good. All right, and that's all I got.
Thank you, Ray. And I just want to mention that we have the New York Forward Selection Committee formed, and we will be meeting very soon to start that process and start getting some of those projects going. But it's taken a while, but we're on the right path at this time. Audience 2, an opportunity to address the board on any town's concerns. Step up to the mic and give us your thoughts. Give us your name and address and give us your thoughts.
It's the wrong meeting. Right? You guys
your
should do
money's
yada, yada, yada on seeker. Right? No, yada, yada, yada. Done. Right?
Right.
So hopefully this may take close to 3 minutes, and I apologize, especially after going through all the seekers, and I appreciate everybody hearing me out and everybody here tonight.
Name and address, please, Jerry.
My name is Jerry Thompson. I live at 162 Payne Street in the village, which is in the town. And I'm trying to summarize this all. This is my notes, and this is my details, and this is the research that I've done. Thanks for the opportunity. I'm going to read from this, and I might, every once in a while, drift. Thanks for the opportunity to speak this evening. I'm here regarding the assessment of the Roycroft Campus properties owned by Douglas Jamel in the town of Aurora and the settlement of the lawsuit. As a result of the settlement, the total assessed value, that's the dollar amount the town assigns to the property to calculate its taxes, on 4 Roycroft Campus properties were reduced from an assessed value of $1,478,300 to $210,000. Those 4 properties are the Roycroft Inn, the adjacent building known as 26 South Grove, the Main Street lot next to the Markey Hall Ricketts and Grabacki lot, and the chapel, the former town hall. This is a reduction, and it brings the owner's annual tax burden down to 14% of what it was. The decision does not eliminate the tax obligation. It redistributes it. The town, the village, the school district, and the county still need the same amount of money to fund the roads, schools, police, and other services. When one owner pays less, the difference gets shifted onto every other taxpayer in the community. Having worked in real estate in East Aurora for 30 years, I believe it's very important to distinguish a key issue here. The sale between the Wendt Foundation and Mr. Jamal was a private transaction between 2 parties. It was not exposed to the open market. It was never listed publicly, and no other buyers had the opportunity to complete for the purchase. In my professional opinion, had these properties been marketed publicly and sold separately, they likely would have achieved significantly higher prices. A private below-market sale between familiar parties did not necessarily reflect true market value. It's also worth noting that while certain points of the campus, such as the chapel, may have previously been tax exempt, other properties, including the Roycroft Inn, were fully taxable and had long carried similar assessments. Those values were publicly known before Mr. Jamal purchased the campus. The assessments were only challenged after the sale went through. To illustrate just how significant these changes are, I'd like to tell you just briefly about each different property. The Main Street lot, 461 Main, is a corner commercial lot. It was assessed previously equal to the lot under the Markey Hall Ricketts Grabacki building. They were about equal. Now, it is assessed equal to a small unbuildable lot on Person Street. The building at 26 South Grove is roughly 7,200 square foot structure adjacent to the Roycroft Inn. It was once assessed comparably to the former Markey Hall Ricketts and Grabacki building on Main Street, right around the corner. It is now assessed similarly to a small residential property that I own at 751 Ellis Place, which is 950 square feet, 2-bedroom and 1 bath. The Roycroft Inn at 40 South Grove is a large hotel and restaurant. It's about 40,000 square feet. It was previously assessed in line with major properties such as the Olean Road Medical Center or large estate homes in the area, the Garment Estate on Mill Road. It is now assessed at a level comparable to a small business. So next time you're having ice cream at Rosie's, realize they are paying 92% of the taxes that Roycroft Inn is. And finally, the chapel on the corner of South Grove and Main Street, it's a prominent 6,000 square foot structure. It was once assessed comparably to the University Pediatric Center across the street on Main. It is now assessed below more than 5,000 properties in the town of Aurora. I recognize and respect the historical importance of the Roycroft campus and the responsibilities that come with maintaining such a property. However, this settlement raises broader concerns to me. It effectively grants a substantial tax reduction to a single private for-profit owner without a transparent public process or legislative review. If the goal was to provide financial relief or incentives for preservation, the discussion should have occurred openly with input from the town, village, school district, and county, with an opportunity for public comment and accountability. This type of settlement also sets a concerning precedent. It raises the question of whether other private transactions, particularly those conducted below market value, could lead to other similar challenges and outcomes, further shifting the tax burden onto other property owners. In closing, I urge residents and board members to ask questions and seek clarity about how and why this decision occurred. Transparency and public engagement are essential, particularly when decisions of this magnitude affect the entire community. Any effort to support historic preservation or economic development should be pursued through open, deliberate, and balance the interest of all taxpayers. Thank you very much. I appreciate you hearing me out. You are my first stop. I'm going to have to stop at the village now that Mayor-elect Wachowski is open, and the school board as well.
I owe you a phone call, Jerry.
Understood.
Would you like to get together with myself, Steve, and our attorney?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yep. Yep. So,
I didn't get to that today, but that's
no,
on tomorrow.
I knew, so I was just, didn't want to enter the meeting without a previous rationale to you.
Yep.
So, thank you.
For sure.
Thanks, Jerry, that was very thorough.
Thank you.
Anyone else? Evan?
I was going to come up twice, but I wanted to make a very brief comment about that.
This is Evan Roden.
This is Evan Roden, 2037 Grover Road. I am gobsmacked that the Roycroft is worth that little, and I think that it's been run pretty badly. I think that they keep repainting the outside. They are not focusing enough on making sure that it's a community resource and providing access to members of the community. And a lot of the funding mechanisms that they've pursued, like, for example, they're a venue. They have a lot of funerals and whatnot. And they enacted recently a 20% gratuity fee on top of all the purchases that are made at that. That's not optional. It's not actually a gratuity. And it doesn't go to the wait staff. It just goes to the back office. I think that that's illegal under New York state law, and I brought this up with the state, but it's taking time. But what if we just bought it? Do we have the money to just purchase the Roycroft Inn for $200,000 and then run it as a public good for the community, and then use that money as a recurring revenue source for the town? I know other towns have done this with their historic properties, whether they're old churches or whatnot. Do we have $200,000, or is that sort of a little out of scope?
I don't think it's for sale.
Yeah.
That is the very definition of a can of worms.
Anyone else? Okay, and we'll move on to staff reports. We'll start with Chief.
Last week, Monday, our new police officer, Alex Pierce, started with the force. Things are going well for him. Alex is originally from East Aurora, so he's come home to continue his career with his wife and small child. 3 part-time dispatchers that were hired a few months ago continue their training, and all 3 are coming along nicely. Last month, officers attended trainings focused on mental health and drug-involved overdoses. I want to remind the public that there is a burn ban in terms of brush, and that goes until May 14th. I did have an occasion last week to stop in both cannabis shops here locally and check those out and check their security and see how those businesses are being operated, and they both seem to be up to snuff, so I was happy to see that. A reminder that on April 4th is the annual Bunny Hop, and from about 10 o'clock in the morning till about noon, Beach and portions of Mill Road to Sweet will be closed for the annual Bunny Hop. And then lastly, I just wanted the town board to be aware that a town resident had petitioned the village board for a 4-way stop at Center and South Streets due to what he determined to be a need there. This gentleman, I can't remember his name right now, but he's a retired engineer with the DOT. And the village board did pass a resolution to ask the county to do a traffic study there. So that will be going on. I know that's just inside the village, but it affects the town as well. And then lastly, I'm really impressed that Taylor Rapp, the former Bill Safety, is now a lifeguard here. So,
Yeah.
you know, so
Takes twists and turns.
when I heard that name, I was like, wow, yeah. So swimming might get popular in the town of Aurora. But outside of that, I'm all done.
Thank you, Chief. Rich?
I don't have anything to say.
Paul? Doug?
Just to clarify more thoroughly, Joe, on your question about voting quorum, Liz and I were talking today, and we're going to move it around a little bit to make sure that we have a full 7 people there at the meeting. So we'll make sure before we actually throw it on an agenda. So it'll probably end up going to the Big Tree Road. We'll probably go to the May planning board meeting.
I appreciate that. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, well, because it was a problem last time, it's worth it. And I would do it for any other similar problem that we couldn't get a good enough people. Thanks.
Thank you, Doug. And can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Motion by Jeff, second by Joe, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you all for coming tonight.
Curse on you. A curse on you.
Sorry, I had a 14-year default to like first one. Let's get it done.
Have you noticed